Hello, Lateral over here, back for another F1 2021 video, and today we are here at the Baku City Circuit in Azerbaijan for another track guide. As always, we're going to be doing one lap at full speed, one lap in detail, and then I'll show you the setup. That was the lap, and as you can see, it's a 1:37.0. There was definitely a couple mistakes on that lap, so with a bit more practice, I can definitely do a 36, but still a decent lap, and now we're going to go in more detail with that lap. Starting the lap now, heading into turn 1, we want to brake right on that 100 meter board on the right there. Use all the track on entry, down to 3rd gear, get right up close to the white line, but miss the inside curb as it will unsettle the car. And short shift up to 4th gear, use all the track on the exit there. Head into turn 2 now, where we want to brake, I'd say maybe 10 meters before that 50 meter board. Down to 3rd gear, and once again, like the previous corner, getting right up close to the white line, but missing the inside curb. Short shift up to 4th gear, and get right up close to the wall there to maximize the track usage. You'll see that a lot throughout this lap. But heading down the straight now, into turn 3, we want to brake pretty much right on that 100 meter board, if not a little bit before. Use the entry curb, 3rd gear, again like the previous 2 corners, getting right up close to the white line, but missing the inside curb. Short shift to 4th gear and use all the track on exit. Now into turn 4, braking just before that 50 meter board there. Now down to 2nd gear, and like the previous 3 corners, we're getting right up close to the white line, but avoiding the inside curb. Short shift to 3rd, and use all the track on the exit of the corner. For turn 5 now, we want to brake just before the 50 meter board on the left goes out of view. 3rd gear for the left-hander, and you want to get as close as possible to that inside wall to help set up for the right-hander in this chicane sequence. 2nd gear for the right, ideally you want to avoid that inside curb. You can see how much time we lost by hitting that inside curb, so you don't want to do that. But heading into this braking zone, braking 10 to 15 meters before that 50 meter board, down to 2nd gear, and you need to use as much of the inside curb as possible here to help get through the corner. Now short shifting up to 3rd gear, again to 4th gear, and then heading into the castle section, braking a little bit before that 50 meter board, down to 3rd gear. As we hit the first apex, we need to get as close as possible to that inside wall to help set up for the rest of the castle section. Now short shift to 4th, and here we're trying to get as close as possible to the left-hand side wall to help set up for this next corner where we brake just before that black box there. And down to 3rd gear, use the inside curb, and then for the left-hander, just lift off the throttle. Use as much of this inside curb as possible, as the corner angle is actually very tight, so using the inside curb will help. Use all the exit curb as well, and head down this section where both of the left-hand kinks are easy flat. Now heading downhill. For this braking zone, we want to brake just after the end of that curb there goes out of view, and we want to brake towards the middle of the track, as that will lead into the racing line. Third gear, as we hit the apex, somehow the fastest way to take the corner is still to use as much inside curb as possible. This will, however, probably cause oversteer. As you can see, we had to correct the car, so using the short shifting to help there. Now into the final braking zone of the lap, you can see a building on the right there, and there's a bunch of pillars, and you want to brake right on the first pillar that you can see on the side of that building there. That is where you want to brake. We go down to third gear, avoid the inside curb, but don't miss the apex like I did there. Use all of the exit curb there, and then through this final part of the lap, just keep the line as smooth as possible to avoid scrubbing off any speed. Through the final corner, now the main straight, and we're going to activate DRS, and now heading down the main straight, and we finish off our lap at Baku. Now for the setup, I didn't do too much setup work, I just took it off the time trial leaderboard and made a few small tweaks. But for the aero, we're using 6/8 wings, and then for the transmission, we're using 82% on throttle and 56% off throttle. For the suspension geometry, I'm still sticking with the maximum front camber, and then either minimum or maximum rear camber and minimum toe. I've seen a lot of other people experimenting with this, but I found that if it's not either one of those settings that I just mentioned, that it feels undrivable to me. So I usually either use maximum front camber, either minimum or maximum rear camber, and then minimum toe. For the suspension, using 1.5, 3.9, and 1.7. For the brakes, using 100% brake pressure and 56% brake bias. You might need to be a little bit careful at turn 5s because it is quite easy to lock the rear tires. If you are struggling with rear locking, then of course raise the brake bias by either 1 or 2%, maybe even more. And then for the tires, using maximum tire pressures, all felt good for the most part. And that is my setup at Baku. That's going to be it for this track guide. If you did find it helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for league racing content very, very soon. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.